Well, a very good morning from wherever you're joining us. We're coming to you live from Broadcasting House here in Nairobi. And what to expect in the news is that Kenya police officers serving in Haiti to continue despite President Donald Trump's government withdrawal of funding. And strangulation, severe abdominal and chest trauma caused the deaths of two Mlolongo abductees. And President William Ruto issues a proclamation ending vetting of northeastern residents before issuance of ID and passports. All that will be coming up in the news this morning. Remember, the president is still on his tour or development tour. Beg your pardon, of the northeastern region. So I'll be bringing you details in a very short moment. Let's begin the news where President William Ruto has revoked the requirement for vetting before the issuance of identification documents for persons living in northeastern Kenya and counties adjacent to Kenya's border points, that is. The president spoke in Wajir County and said all Kenyans are equal before the law and none should be discriminated against based on race, tribe or locality. Here is Abdiaziz Hashim with the details.
And other counties adjacent to Kenya's international borders will not face vetting in the issuance of identification documents, including national identification cards and passports, starting Wednesday.
Residents of border communities have historically been subjected to extra requirements for vetting processes as a prerequisite for obtaining national identity cards.
This is after President William Ruto rescinded a decades-long policy requiring vetting them before they are issued with IDs and passports for security reasons.
By authority vested in me by the Constitution of Kenya, do hereby proclaim and order. Number one, that the extra requirements for vetting and ethnic profiling to which persons living within border counties are subjected to during registration and issuance of national identity documents shall be and is hereby discontinued.
Making the proclamation, the president said the policy was discriminatory.
Whereas Article 27(1) of the Constitution affirms that every person is equal before the law and guarantees all citizens the right to equal protection and benefit of the law, whereas Article 27(4) prohibits the state from discriminating directly or indirectly against any person on any ground, including race.
The head of state said the decision was reached after numerous petitions from largely the Muslim community to the presidency, the parliament and other government offices.
Na ndio leo nimesema kama kuna maswali itaulizwa, ile maswali inaulizwa iulizwe watoto wote wa Kenya. Sio ya kwamba watoto wa Northern Kenya waulizwe maswali na wale wengine hawaulizi maswali.
Earlier, the president, accompanied by his deputy and cabinet secretaries, launched a livestock vaccination exercise, saying the move is a requisite in accessing the international market. He also toured several development projects, including an affordable housing project, and launched last-mile connectivity of electricity to benefit over 20,000 people in Wajir.
Of course, that is Giverson Minor and not Abdiaziz Hashim. But we move on. Former Nairobi Regional Police Commander Adamson Bungei has told an inquest into the murder of Rex Kanyike Masai, who was shot dead during the youth-led Gen Z protest, that there was no operational order at the time. Bungei said police acted on orders to ensure that peace prevails in the city. Letua Deborah with the details of the case.
Former Nairobi Regional Police Commander Adamson Bungei on Wednesday appeared at the witness stand during the late Rex Wanyeki Masai case to shed light on what transpired last year. Bungei, who appeared before trial magistrate Geoffrey Onsarigo at the Milimani Law Court, stated that the police only acted upon orders.
We as police asked to attend for purposes of further procedures. So in that matter, therefore, I too informed the OCPD to take the necessary procedures that are supposed of the station commander.
Bungei gave his evidence that he only learned from a post-mortem report that the late Rex died from a gunshot wound. He said that they received a report from the OCPD of Central Police that demonstrators took to the streets as early as 8 a.m. and police were only called to provide security to the businesses.
Not just deployed. Remember the situation that comes up as a national security. National security means if the country is in distress or there is a distress in a situation of any other place, there is a responsibility of any agency to deploy and manage the situation.
The case is expected to continue from 10th to 14th of March 2025, with 2 other witnesses expected to appear before the court. Masai was shot and killed at the height of Gen Z protest in June 2024. In a shocking revelation at the inquest, former police commander Adamson Bungei testified that Rex Masai was not shot by the police, raising more questions about his tragic death. Reporting at Milimani Law Courts, I'm Letua Debra.
Thank you, Letua. Now, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has dismissed fears that the multinational security support mission in Haiti will come to a halt following the United States move to freeze its financial contribution to the forces, fund. In a statement, the Prime Cabinet Secretary said that the mission receives funding from several donor countries, assuring the continuity of the operations.
Following the United States' move to freeze its financial contribution to the multinational security support mission in Haiti, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has cleared the air on the mission's future. Mudavadi confirmed the halting of funding for the mission, but said it will affect only about $15 million in its support.
The process is on. We would do. I have to admit that we will do better if the resources were even more. But that does not mean that as things stand, the Haiti mission has come to a standstill.
Mudavadi adding that the Kenyan-led mission, coordinated with the Haitian National Police, brings together personnel from Kenya, Guatemala, Jamaica, El Salvador, Bahamas and Belize, among others, receives funding from several donor countries and has assured that there are sufficient funds in the trust from other nations, with approximately $110 million to continue operations. His sentiments were echoed by government spokesperson Isaac Maura, who added that the freezing of funds, which stops $13.3 million in pending aid, won't affect the mission's future.
The fund has sufficient resources to continue underwriting the mission until the end of September 2025, so there is no crisis. The transition of the mission to full UN mission to ensure financial sustainability is a key priority to which Kenya and all partners are committed.
Police in Nairobi have launched a manhunt for culprits behind the 19 illegal Ethiopian nationals found living in a deplorable state in a 4-bedroom house in Makopolo area in Njiro, that is in Nairobi County. Residents say they were attracted by screams coming from the house, only to find the 19 who looked emaciated due to hunger. Police from Kayole's Obama police station, however, broke in and saved them. A caretaker at the building was also arrested. The incident happened about 2.6 kilometers from Kayole police station. Residents attribute the incident to human trafficking. The group is being held at the Obama police station, waiting arraignment in court.
Tujaijua ni shughuli gani huwa inaendelea huku, sababu gari kweli zinaweza kuja, saa zingine huwa zinakuja gari mbili, ya blue hivi, nyingine ya white. Lakini hizo gari zikija zinakuwa zimebeba. Nasikia gari hata ukiangalia mguu unaona hiyo gari imebeba kitu mzito, lakini huwa zinaingia tu na nyuma. Zikishaingia tena utaona geti ikifunguliwa zinatoka zinaenda, sasa kama hazina uzito.
Ni kama hapa mahali walikuwa wamewekwa, walikuwa naishi njaa. Wakaweza kuvunja paa, ceiling na wakavunja mabati. Sasa wakati walianza kurukaruka, watu wenye kuwa area wakasuka wakasema ni watu aina gani? Juu ni watu hakuna lugha wanajua, hawajui Kiswahili, hawajui Kizungu na hawajui lugha yoyote. Ukiongelesha wanaongea kama bubu.
tunaomba wafanye uchunguzi wa kindani, wafuate, wajue ni kina nani wanaendeleza biashara ya aina hii.
Other one is coming by their own foot. I come by car or by bus.
The Anglican Church of Kenya Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit says the church supports the move by the United States of America to freeze foreign aid, saying it is time African leaders seek internal solutions in addressing problems facing the continent. Archbishop Sapit, who was speaking at St. Paul's College in Limuru, claimed that foreign aid, especially from the United States and Europe, has in some instances been channeled to personal use instead of the intended purposes.
We can grow food and we can satisfy ourselves if we have the right programs. So I think Trump disruption of the rest of the world must be a wake-up call for us to be able to think. Every other economy grew, not in easy times, but when they were faced by a crisis, they think deeper. And I hope we can think deeper now. Partially, I thank Trump for the disruption. Let us be disrupted so that we think properly and manage our resources properly. The other big problem to our development agenda is greed, and particularly to us leaders when, we take it away from people. And
A look at business now. The cost of credit is expected to reduce in coming months if commercial banks pass on the benefits of a lower benchmark interest rate and cash reserve ratio to borrowers. This is after the central bank on Wednesday reduced the benchmark lending rate to 10.75%, the lowest in a year. In addition, policymakers at the central bank have reduced the cash reserve ratio from 4.25% to 3.25% to free up more cash held by commercial banks for lending the private sector to stimulate economic activity. In a statement, Central Bank of Kenya Governor Dr. Kamau Thuge, who chairs the Monetary Policy Committee, hinted that if banks fail to immediately reduce the cost of credit to reflect the easing of the monetary policy stance, the regulator would take steps to enforce lower lending rates, which includes penalties for individual banks. The measure is being taken after the Monetary Policy Committee noted that economic growth decelerated in 2024. Let's look at sports. Patrick Korir has resigned from his position as the acting chief executive officer of Football Kenya Federation. President Hussein Mohamed acknowledged having received a 1 month's notice from Korir, tendering his resignation. Korir, who is also a former CEO of Nairobi City Stars, was appointed to take up the position in October 2024, when the then FKF CEO Barry Otieno stepped down from his role in order to run for the FKF presidency.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the General Secretary, Patrick Korir, for the job he's done as an acting GS during the electioneering process last year, when his mandate actually came to an end in December as acting Secretary General. He has given us a month's notice, and we will still be working with him in the transition period to make sure we have a smooth handover.
Well, and just before we end the news, here's a look at what we'll be following up for you, where President William Ruto is expected to tour Garissa County today. My colleague, that is Abdiaziz Hashim, is there and will be bringing us details of that. And his first stop will be to launch an affordable housing project within Garissa Township. Also, we expect the EAC-led Nairobi peace process aimed at facilitating a peaceful resolution to the conflicts and instability in the DRC Congo to hold a press conference today at around 9 a.m. And my colleague, JJ Kioria, will be on standby. Well, my name is Marie Ambo. I hope to see you again next week. Coming up next, definitely, is the continuation of the Entertainment Thursday.